world. Now, an interesting one that we're going to start with, and I think you were one of the leaders of this at Adore Cruises, something called Fire and Ice. And this is where you get two totally different experiences on a cruise ship in one journey, basically. So let's have a little taste of the fire, and then Mr. Gilder will explain a little bit more about the ice afterwards. Let's jet off now to Hawaii. Well, there we go. Lovely place. And I've not done Hawaii, and I have to say, have you been to Hawaii?
I've never done Hawaii. It's on my bucket list. I'm most probably looking to go next summer instead of having my jaunt to Orlando. I was looking at flights to Honolulu.
Yeah.
I want to go up the mountains. I want to go in the waterfalls. I want to do some really bad dancing.
That's what
something like that.
You're going to have that, and you're going to wear the old doodah around when you.
The old doodah.
Yeah, what's it called? Well, their little necklace of flowers.
Yeah,
kind of Hawaiian welcome. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha. I don't know her, but aloha. So tell me a bit about this wonderful itinerary, because it's very different.
As you said, Ian, this is where we've actually put two cruises together. One goes from one area to another, and then afterwards it's going on to somewhere totally different, and this is Fire and Ice. So we're flying you into Honolulu to start off with. It's going to be via LA normally, where you can have a 3-night stay in a sort of hotel in the Waikiki Beach area.
Right.
And then you're going to board the lovely Carnival Legend. I've been on the ship, loved it. I spent 8 nights on my honeymoon it was my honeymoon many years ago. Food was great. As a ship, can't fault her. Not one of their biggest ships, that's a medium-sized ship, so for people who don't want to be on one of the mega floating liners, it's sort of an in-between, but it goes to some great places. So it's an 11-night cruise, and it goes to the 4 main islands in Hawaii. So it's gone to Maui, Kona, Hilo, and Kauai, which is Nawiliwili. I love saying that, I don't know why. I think it's it. And then it cruises over to Vancouver. So
that's a 5-day passage on the Northern Pacific, isn't it?
It is, so please take some quells with you, because it can get a little bit lumpy.
But it pleases, again, those people that like transatlantics. I know a lot of clients that they're quite happy to stay on a ship.
Yeah.
They don't worry if they see an island or not. So you're ticking 3 boxes with this. You're giving them the heat of Hawaii, then you're going to give them a nice chilled 5 days at sea, and then to a spectacular part of it.
But they can read their books when they book,
exactly,
as we can give them a
Kindle. Remember to
exactly.
ask for the Kindle.
On the Kindle. So once you come into Vancouver, you get a day in Vancouver. It is a turnaround day, so people will be getting on and off, but we'll book you the same cabin all the way through. And then it's a 7-night cruise up to Alaska, and I love Alaska. I really love Alaska. We've covered it quite a lot over the recent weeks, But some questions that I get asked all the time is, when is the best time to go to Alaska? And what's the weather going to be like? That must be the most common thing that we get. So with it, the best time, in my opinion, is either early in the season
or end of season.
Or end of season.
September is I like early September.
Yeah, if you go early in the season, you're generally going to see the whales. Because that's when they start migrating through the passages and everything else. And if you go in September, you're generally going to see the bears. August, September is when you'll see the bears type of thing.
They're coming down to hibernate.
Because they're coming down,
yeah.
So they're feeding up, they're stocking up with their food, and we're getting into hibernate. Also get asked, what's the weather like? Generally in May time, it's going to be around about 50, 52 degrees. It's going to be quite damp and wet. During the summer months in July and August, it can get up to 70. Yeah. It can be shorts and t-shirt. And again, in September, it's cooling down, getting a little bit wetter, a little bit cooler. Obviously, the shoulder seasons, the May and September, are cheaper times to go. But invariably, if you go July and August, you are going to get the better weather, but you're going to be paying £300 to £400 per person more, because the cruise is more expensive, and secondly, the flight is a lot more
expensive.
It's a flight that really does kill the price as well. But then, as I say, this is a 7-night cruise, and it's going to go on to the Tracy Ford Glacier.
Fantastic.
Tracy Armfjord.
That's mind-blowing when you realise how it's chafing every...
Yeah.
It sounds like thunder as well, as we've said before. It's scary.
It is. It's brilliant. Then on Juneau, the capital of Alaska. We crack that joke every week. Then on to Skagway, or Skagwa, that's for Serge's benefit.
Skagway, yeah.
And then Glacier Bay, which is one of the main areas for where the glaciers are. It's the premier glacier in Alaska, where all the cruise ships go. They're limited the amount to go into. It's just, that goes in for a day. There's a good chance you'll see whales as you go in the morning. It's just...
What about Scotland?
Oh, the jokes get worse.
No, it is. It is spectacular.
And then on to Ketchikan, before finally coming into Seattle. We're including one night in Seattle, because Seattle is a great town to see and explore. You've got the Tower, which you can go up there, got some great markets. You've got a nice port area as well, so it's a great place to go around. So this is on the 16th of April, 2017. 24 nights in total, and that includes, I think it's 19 nights on the cruise.
Right.
So what do you reckon the price is on this one, Ian?
Oh, let's have a look. So it's April. So you're getting pretty good airfares at that time of the year, because you're just post-Easter. So lead in for an inside.
Yep.
1999.
You're a little bit more, it's a lot more than that to be
Is
fair.
it really? Well,
yeah.
I know how well you've done over the last few, so I thought I'm not going to get caught again.
Yeah, this is coming in at 2,699 per person,
Right,
so just over £100 per person per night. The balcony's a good price though. That's at 2,999. So for a 19-night cruise, for an extra £300, you can have a balcony. I think is an absolute...
Definitely worth that.
Yeah, kind of. If I was going to spend £3,000, and as I say, this is killing 2 bucket list opportunities. You're doing Hawaii, doing the main parts of Hawaii. You're getting the chill part, and then doing Alaska as well, and it saves. It's actually cheaper doing it this way than doing 2 separate journeys.
But what I'd suggest people do as well, you're into Vancouver for a disembarkation of some passengers and embarkation of others. Go into Vancouver, don't just sit on the ship, because that is one of the most amazing cities.
Vancouver is fantastic, and what we can also do with this, if you want to do extra nights in Seattle, we can do so. If you want to go up to Vancouver, there's a train which takes only around about 3 hours.
Yeah.
If you want to come back via Las Vegas, we can do so. Come back via New York. We can change this and add on other things as well. So if you can have more time and you want to make it a really exceptional journey, want to do something different, we can tailor make it to whatever our guests want.
All right, that's brilliant. So you're not changing ships there like some of the offers. So it's the Carnival Legend.
Correct, Carnival Legend.
And it's Fire and Ice. So we've done the fire. Now we're going to show a bit of the magic.
As I say, I've sort of explained Alaska, but let's see it properly in its glory.
Well, that's your Fire and Ice. It's exclusive with the Door Cruises. Remember, you must ask for the Kindle. If you make a booking, you want to get on to that wonderful Fire and Ice experience, you have to dial 0800 940 1449 and ask for that Kindle. Because, Ian, if they don't